kind of overwhelmed. I was just grateful to be here. I was thankful that Rich, brought me here. Bishop brought me here. One of the Bishop brought me here. One of the main reasons that I was here is because you all got to see, I think, my son yesterday, my youngest son, and I might have shared this, but my older son is going off to college this summer, and when he was born, I was trying to figure out what name to give him. I didn't know what, we were trying to figure out what name to give him. So I ended up deciding to make him Allan as well. So I'm a junior. So my father is Allan Wade Houston, and he's Allan Wade Houston. Now I'm Allan Wade Houston Jr., and he's the third. And so all growing up, I was trying to figure out, like, should he play basketball? What is he gonna do? And he ended up, after his sophomore year, having a really good year in football. And he was like, he was skinny. I'm like, man, I don't know how he's playing football. He's so skinny. Those dudes are big out there running, smashing his head. But he had such a heart and passion for football. So the reason I liked it is because when I'm in New York, a lot of people come up to me and they say, hey, Allan, I remember you playing for the Knicks. I like watching you play for the Knicks. And when I was with him and he was younger, they would say that to me, and then they would look at him and they say, hey, can you shoot? Can you play like your dad? And when they would say that, I would feel like, don't ask him that. He's his own person. He doesn't have to be me. So when he put that football in his hand and he started running around people and tackling people, people were like, why are you letting him play football? Aren't you worried about him getting hurt? I'm like, no. First of all, that's what God put in him. That's the gift that God gave him. And God's gonna make him great at whatever it is. So the first thing I want you guys to understand, like I think we said yesterday, right? God has something that he's putting in you that's gonna make you great. All right, everybody look at me for a second. Look in my eyes for a second. You need to understand that God has given you something not to make you just okay, not to make you average, but make you great. We're here to be great, okay? The reason I'm here is not because, I worked hard on shooting, but I had a father that taught me what it means to be great, not average. I never wanted to be average in anything I did, okay? And that means what God has given you is something to be great. So don't settle for just being average. Don't settle for it. You don't have to be, but it takes work. And I'm not saying you have to be a professional athlete. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is God has something for you, whether it's a career, it might be a coach, it might be someone who owns a construction company here who's building things for the community. It might be you building another building like this. I don't know what it is, but God has something for you to be great in, all right? The most important thing is for you to be great in, though, is your character. So somebody tell me what character means. You know what character means? You know what character means? You're looking at your son like you might have had this discussion before. Maybe you can help me. Like, how would you define character?
I think character has to do with your reputation, with how you carry yourself, your demeanor, saying something and meaning it, following through, being a man of your word. Some of the things that I try with them.
Character is just really how you behave, how you act, things you say, right? So I was inspired to write a book about 6 to 9 months ago. And the reason I wanted to write this book is because I was on a plane maybe 15, 20 years ago. And when I was on this plane, I started to think about all the things that I learned from my father. And I was thinking on that plane, and usually when I get on the plane, I sleep. couldn't sleep on this plane, on this trip. So I got on a pen. I said I couldn't sleep, so I felt like I needed to start writing something down. So I looked back and I thought about all the times I was in basketball camps just like this. In the same way when we were talking about shooting. And on that last shot, I gave the ball to my son, and I think we needed like to make 12, and he made that last shot. Remember that? And I was probably excited as he was, because it reminded me of that's what happened when I was growing. That's how I learned to shoot. My father was in the gym, throwing me the ball, telling me the same thing: get your elbow in, follow through. He was teaching me this. Then he would put me in situations where I was playing against much bigger and stronger players. And he's putting me in situations that would challenge me, right, to make me better. So I wouldn't be comfortable, I would be uncomfortable. So when I was on the plane, I was thinking about I was going through these memories in my head, right? So I was like, okay, what am I supposed to write down? So as soon as I got out the pen, 5 words came right to my head. 5 words came to my head. And I just wrote them down. I'm gonna give you these 5 words, all right? I'm gonna ask you if you can remember these 5 words, okay? The first word is faith. How many of you guys been on an airplane before? Okay? When you've been on an airplane, were you nervous? Were you nervous? Yeah. Okay. So most people are like, oh man, I'm up here, I'm nervous. But at some point you have to say, you know what? It's gonna be okay, we're gonna land. We're gonna be fine, right? Faith. It's the first thing that God gives us that gives us a picture of who He is. Okay, the second word is integrity. Integrity, we talked about character. Right? It's how you behave. Third word is sacrifice. Sacrifice. In order to do anything you want to do and be good at it, you got to work extremely hard and you got to be disciplined. You guys are here this morning. You got here. My man here is sick, but he's still here. You all made sacrifices to be here. That's what it takes. It takes showing up. The fourth word is leadership. Okay, leadership is important because when you've been given something, now you're responsible for it. If someone gives you some information, now you have to do something with it. It's responsibility. And the last one is legacy. And what was your name? Sorry. So Mr. Roddy said your reputation. Your reputation. What do people say about you when you're not around? What do you want? How do you want them to know you? What do you want them to say about you? So these 5 words: faith, integrity, sacrifice, leadership, and legacy. Okay? My father and I we call them the fundamentals of life. The basics for life. If you pay attention to these 5 words and focus on them, then you will be successful. It's that simple. Okay? So what I wanted to do, I want to ask somebody, what does winning in life mean? How many people like to win? How many people like to lose? How many people like to lose? Tell me why you would raise your hand there.
I feel like losing is a part of winning.
Okay.
I feel like it's a lesson to be learned from a loss, and it just takes you back to that drawing board so you can fix those little errors that you made mistakes in. So therefore, you can prepare yourself to win.
Yeah. That's a mature way to see losing. Well, did you have your hand up? Did you want to say something? You were getting your hand ready, right? You were getting your hand ready to shoot. I get it. Somebody tell me what winning in life means. What does it mean to win in life? Anybody know how to answer that? To win in life? How would you answer that, man? To win in life?
I think winning in life is just being successful in your own way.
Yeah.
Winning in life is finding your purpose,
Yes.
finding your calling, and then just walking it out as best as possible.
Yeah. That's a great answer. So basically, Mike said, winning in life is finding your purpose. What's for you? What's for you? If your mother says, I need you to go to the store and get me milk and eggs, you do what? You come back with what? Milk and eggs. If you come back with just milk and no eggs, were you successful? No. If you come back with just eggs and no milk, were you successful?
No.
If you come back with milk and eggs, did you
Yes.
complete your assignment?
Yes.
Did you win? So what Mike says is, whatever God has for you, whatever your assignment is in life, that's success. See, where we get messed up sometimes, we think success is about what you have. Oh, he must be successful because he has a nice car. He must be successful because he has a nice house. He must be successful because he has 3 pair of Jordans. He must be successful because he's making a lot of money. Success is not just based on material things. It's not based on things. It's based on this. Did you accomplish what God has asked you to do? That's winning in life. Okay? Winning in life is about saying, all right, Lord, what do you have for me? What is it that you have? One of my favorite, we talked yesterday about having the Word of God, knowing the Word of God, right? So one of my favorite Bible verses is in Psalm 37:4. And here's what it says. He said, if you delight in me, God is saying this to us. If you delight in me, which means if you enjoy being with me the same way you get on the court. When you walk into this gym, first thing you did is you pick up a ball, because I'm in the gym. I'll pick up a ball and I'm gonna go shoot, because I like being in here. I love the presence of this gym. When I came to the gym, the first thing I said is, I love the smell of a gym. I love the smell of it. And God is saying, if you delight in me the same way you delight in being in that gym, picking up the ball, smelling it, feeling it, seeing how it feels going through the net, seeing how it feels when it comes through your legs. If you delight in God the same way you delight in that feeling, he said this, I will give you the desires of your heart. So what he means is, I'm going to give you what I have for you. We can't create what we have for ourselves. God has to show us what he has for us. That's what winning is. So I'm going to share something that's in this. It's a short little passage in the book, and I want you to think about it, and I just want to ask what your thoughts are on it. So when I was first writing the book, one thing that came to my mind is that I thought about what it felt like to play in a game. When you're playing in a game, just imagine, I want you to imagine, okay, they just announced your name. You're in the starting lineup, you're ready to go out, ball goes up. So what's the first thing that you're thinking about? Just tell me, what's the first thing you're thinking about when the game starts? What are you thinking about?
Jumping to catch the ball.
Okay, jumping to catch the ball. On the jump ball, Okay. Is there somebody that's gonna just let you jump and get the ball? What's something you're thinking about when the game starts? What are you thinking about in your head? Huh? Hope you don't miss.
Mess up.
Yeah. What are you thinking about? What's the first thing you're thinking about when the game starts? Hope we what? Win. Now, we're not going to say we hope we win, right? We're not going to say hope, because the words are important. That's why words are very important. I think I know what you meant to say is like, no, we have to be determined to win. Because we can't just hope to win. Because if you just hope to win, that means I'm not really preparing myself to win. But what you're saying is, I want to win. What are you thinking about when you play a game? The game starts. What are you thinking?
I already know. Dad, you told me to win. I said win.
Gotta win.
I'll win.
Gotta win. Okay?